Gather close, my friends, and lend me your ears as I spin a yarn from the mists of time, a sweeping saga of gods and mortals, where divine intervention shapes the destinies of men, of burning love and bitter hate, of courage and despair. Our story unfolds before the seemingly impenetrable walls of the mighty city of Troy, its formidable walls, a testament to human ingenuity, towering defiantly beneath the warm Aegean sun. For 10 long, arduous years, a vast and relentless Greek army has laid siege, camped outside these imposing walls, their formidable fleet of ships crowding the sandy shore, a constant reminder of the war's relentless grip. The Greeks, driven by a thirst for glory and a burning desire for vengeance, came seeking retribution. And this brutal war has dragged on for what seems like an eternity, claiming countless lives on both sides of the conflict. The immortal gods watch with detached amusement from their lofty perch on Mount Olympus, their fickle favor shifting like the unpredictable wind, influencing the tides of battle. Imagine the vibrant, bustling markets within Troy's walls and the anxious, weary lookouts standing guard on the towering battlements, ever vigilant. All brought to life with stunning detail and vivid animation, immersing you in this ancient world. The stage is meticulously set. The opposing armies are gathered, poised for a final confrontation, and a seemingly insignificant quarrel is about to ignite the war's final, devastating and ultimately tragic chapter. The fate of the magnificent city of Troy and all the souls who dwell within its protective embrace hangs precariously in the balance. Among the Greeks stands Achilles, the greatest warrior, nearly invincible and burning with pride. His rival is Agamemnon, the Greek commander, powerful but arrogant and greedy. Their clash is inevitable. Agamemnon seizes Achilles' prize, Briseis wounding Achilles' honor. Furious, Achilles withdraws from battle, taking his myrmidons with him. Across the field, Hector, Troy's noble champion, fights not for glory, but for his city and family. The Greeks falter without Achilles, and the Trojans, led by Hector, surge forward. This single act of pride and rage will change the course of the war. The gods look on, knowing tragedy is near. With Achilles gone, the Achaean forces find themselves in dire straits. Their greatest warrior, the man who seemed invincible, is absent from the field. Hector, the noble warrior prince of Troy, sees this as his moment. He rallies his troops and leads the Trojans in a fierce and relentless assault, pressing their advantage. The Trojan onslaught is overwhelming, pushing the Greeks back towards their ships to the very brink of utter defeat. Hope dwindles as the Achaean lines begin to crumble. But this is no ordinary war. The gods themselves, ever invested in the affairs of mortals, now join the fray, descending from the heavens to influence the battle's outcome. Athena, goddess of wisdom and warfare, and Hera, queen of the gods, fiercely aid the Greeks, bolstering their spirits and guiding their strategies. But not all the gods favor the Achaeans. Apollo, the archer god, stands resolutely with Troy, lending his divine power to their cause. Divine intervention transforms the battlefield into a scene of unimaginable chaos, a maelstrom of clashing steel and celestial power. Mortals and immortals clash in a storm of fate, their destinies intertwined in this epic struggle for supremacy. The very ground trembles beneath their feet. Amid the turmoil and the deafening roar of battle, Hector, ever mindful of his duty and his love for his family, shares a tender and poignant farewell with his beloved wife Andromache and his young son Astyanax. He knows in his heart that this battle may be his last, that he may never return to the loving embrace of his family. As the Greeks face utter ruin and the very real prospect of annihilation, a desperate plea arises from within their ranks. Patroclus, Achilles' closest and most loyal friend, witnessing the suffering of his comrades, begs Achilles to allow him to fight in Achilles' own armor. After much deliberation and with a heavy heart, Achilles relents, moved by his friend's courage and the desperate situation. However, Achilles gives him a stern warning, cautioning him not to become consumed by battle lust and not to pursue the Trojans too far from the Achaean ships. Donning the legendary armor, Patroclus leads the revitalized Greeks back into the thick of battle, a beacon of hope amidst the despair. He is disguised as Achilles, The mere sight of the familiar armor strikes fear into the hearts of the Trojans. But this act of bravery, this desperate gamble, is a choice that will ultimately seal his fate, setting in motion a chain of events that will forever alter the course of the war. The gods and men alike brace themselves, watching with bated breath as the drama unfolds, knowing that what comes next will be etched in the annals of history. Patroclus, in Achilles' armor, drives the Trojans back, but is slain by Hector with Apollo's help. Achilles is shattered by grief. His rage returns, now aimed at Hector. Armed with new divine armor, Achilles storms the battlefield, unstoppable and merciless. Hector alone stands to face him, refusing to hide behind Troy's walls. The two heroes clash in a legendary duel. Hector falls, struck down by Achilles. In his fury, Achilles refuses Hector's dying plea for mercy, dragging his body before Troy's walls. The city mourns. The gods themselves are silent at the horror. The war's cost is now measured in sorrow. Hector's death is more than a personal tragedy. It signals the impending doom of Troy. The city's strongest defender has fallen, and with him, a vital piece of the city's hope and strength is lost forever. A wave of grief engulfs the city, washing over its inhabitants like a dark tide. The cries of mourning women echo through the streets, a symphony of sorrow that reflects the deep despair settling over Troy. Across the battlefield, Achilles, though victorious, is also emptied by vengeance. He mourns Patroclus, his grief a mirror to the Trojans, a stark reminder that war leaves no one untouched by sorrow. His rage, once a consuming fire, is now spent, leaving behind only ashes and the bitter taste of loss. In a final act of courage, born not of strength but of desperation and love, King Priam, the aged ruler of Troy, makes a perilous journey, entering the Greek camp under the cover of night. He humbles himself, kneeling before Achilles, the man who killed his son, begging for Hector's body to be returned for proper burial. Achilles, deeply moved by Priam's plea and reminded of his own father, finds a flicker of humanity within himself and returns Hector's body. He grants a truce, a temporary cessation of hostilities, to allow the Trojans time for mourning and funeral rites. For 12 days an unusual silence descends upon the battlefield. The war pauses and the sounds of battle are replaced by the solemn rituals of grief. Troy honors its fallen hero Hector with elaborate funeral pyres and processions, a final farewell to their champion. In this poignant moment of shared grief, enemies find a common ground, a shared understanding of loss, revealing compassion and dignity amidst the brutality of war. The Iliad ends not with a triumphant victory, a celebration of conquest, but with the profound sorrow that permeates all human conflict. It serves as a timeless warning of pride's devastating cost, and it underscores the enduring power of empathy to bridge even the widest divides. The story of Troy, with all its tragedy and heroism, lives on through the ages. It remains a timeless lesson, a powerful reminder of the enduring human capacity for love, loss, and the deep, lasting wounds of war that echo through generations.